Hi guys, we're gonna be talking about the best palettes for the fall time. Y'all know I'm about to put y'all on. I always put y'all on. And not only are we gonna be talking about the best palettes for the fall time, but we're also gonna be having a giveaway in today's video. I just wanted to give back to you guys. I have not done a giveaway in a little minute, so we're about to change that today. I am going to give you guys a sneak peek of one of the things I'm going to be giving away in today's video, and it's this. Okay, we're going to get into that a little later into the video, so if you want to figure out how to enter into today's giveaway, definitely keep on watching till the end. But we're gonna dive into these palettes because your girl about to put y'all on to some of the best palettes for the fall time. I carefully thought about each of these palettes. I have a mixture from drugstore to extremely high end. We have to have options. We have to have a nice range of palettes. So if you guys want to see what I personally think are some of the best palettes to use in the fall time, then definitely keep on watching. So the first one being this palette right here from ColourPop. This is the Sonic Bloom palette. Now I think this palette is extremely perfect for fall, especially because it's not that intimidating. It's like neutral with pops of color. If you're not really into like that like colorful fall palette or just a bunch of like orange tones, then I think you'll really love this one. And there's some really fun shades in here as well. There's a really cool duochrome. There's also like a duochrome green shade, and then there's a ton of like deepening up shades in this palette. This is an Ulta exclusive, unfortunately, but if you could get your hands on this, I definitely recommend trying out this palette because I think it's perfect for this time of year. All right, so we have two more palettes from ColourPop. The next palette is also an Ulta exclusive, but I want to say I think it's on the ColourPop site right now. This is the Lust for Dusk eyeshadow palette. This one's really gorgeous. This came out at a time that I really didn't think was like appropriate. I think it came out during the summertime, and I was like, this is so not a summer palette. This is more of a fall palette. Like what's going on? But now that it's fall, I think this palette is absolutely perfect. This is for those of you who love cool tones. Like if you are a person that loves cool tones, muted color, you know, this palette is definitely the palette for you. I am telling you guys, this one's really stunning. Like this palette surprised me. I did film a video with this palette, but then I never posted it. I think this cost like $24 if I'm not mistaken, but definitely check this one out if you love cool tones. We have one more palette from ColourPop, and you guys, you already know what it is, right? You guys guessed it, right? Of course, it's the It's a Mood palette. This is currently my favorite eyeshadow palette from ColourPop. This palette is like, this literally screams fall. This right here is a palette for those of you who love jewel tones, but you also love like those grungy kind of colors. This palette you will definitely fall in love with. There's so much you can do with this. I feel like honestly for the fall time, this is literally all that you need. And I also feel like if you wanted the So Jaded palette, like the ColourPop x Kathleen Lights collaboration palette, and you didn't get your hands on it, this is definitely like the next best thing. That is all the palettes that I have from ColourPop. Let's go ahead and move into Juvia's place. Now there are a ton of like grungy fall toned palettes. There's like colorful, but there's just a nice mix of like colorful fall winter kind of palettes. The first one I want to talk about is a quad. So this is for those of you who love those smaller palettes. This is the Rebel Honey palette. Now this palette I think is really stunning. I will say this is one of those palettes where you won't get too many looks out of it, but if you are traveling a lot during the fall time, I definitely think this is a palette that you could definitely pick up. There's another one I'm going to show you guys that's also a quad from Juvia's place that I think is also really perfect for this time of year, and that being the Rebel Army palette. Now this one I feel like you could definitely, you know, include with the honey one. I feel like these two together are really perfect for the fall time. Honestly, green is just one of those shades that you can use literally throughout the entire year, but more so the fall, I really love green. And if you love green, this is a great monochromatic green mini palette. The next palette from Juvia's place is the Nubian 2 palette. Now this is fairly older, but I really think that you guys are gonna love this one, especially if you love neutrals. This has like neutrals with your pops of color. There's a green, there's some shades in here to deepen up your looks, really nice transition shades as well. This palette is just really beautiful, very like well-rounded for a fall palette. Absolutely stunning, and the pan sizes in here are humongous. I'm obsessed with this palette. I think you'll really love this palette, especially like the metallics and how buttery they are. Next brand I did pull from is Beauty Bay. Oh my gosh, you guys, Beauty Bay is just that brand. This next palette is like absolutely stunning. You need to get it while they have it on the site. Like I tell you guys all the time, Beauty Bay does not keep their palettes on their site forever. It is the Wilderness palette. Now this one is perfect. Perfect for the fall. This is absolutely beautiful. You guys, I have a review on this palette. If you haven't seen it, haven't checked it out, definitely do. I'll try to link it in a card above. But can we talk about how this just has the perfect mix of every fall shade you can imagine? There's greens, there's reds, there's oranges, there's blues. There is literally everything that you need. And oh my God, the shimmers in this palette are so beautiful. You guys, can we just like take a quick second to talk about how stunning these shimmers are? Like absolutely beautiful. And then like all over the lid too. Look at that. The next palette we have is also from Beauty Bay. It is the Fiery 2.0 palette. This one's like your typical fall palette, but it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is so fiery, beautiful, stunning. You have, of course, you have your neutrals, you have your yellows, you have your oranges, you have your black, you have your browns, burgundies. Like Beauty Bay said, let's do a fall palette, and this is what they came up with, and I was like, okay, you're sold. I'm sold. Like this is absolutely beautiful. You guys, seriously check this out. This is only $20. You get 42 eyeshadows for $20. Can we just talk about how great of a value that is? Because girl, like it still amazes me how Beauty Bay can make such affordable palettes with the beautiful, stunning, creamy formula that they have. It's so pigmented, so creamy. I talk about this all the time. Every time one of you guys tell me like that you got a Beauty Bay palette and you're like, oh my God, I love it. Thank you like for like mentioning this palette. I get so excited because I'm like, yes, another person gets to actually experience what I've been raving about on my channel. Like it just makes me so happy because not a lot of people know about Beauty Bay, and I'm like, I should be, okay, Beauty Bay, if you ever see this video or any of my videos, we need to collaborate in some way because I should really be a like advocate for Beauty Bay because I don't know anyone else who's just as excited about their eyeshadows like me. Like I just love them. I never think twice about buying their eyeshadow palettes because it's like they're so worth it, and I need every single one of them. Like every single one that they come out with, I need it. I need it. So the next palette I want to talk about is from Bperfect Cosmetics x Stacey Marie's Antidote palette. One side of the palette is more colorful, and then you have like those grungy greens, and then in the middle of the palette you have like your neutrals. I just think this is a really nicely well thought out palette, and I feel like it's a great companion with a lot of the other palettes that you choose to, you know, use. I'm wearing this palette on my eyes today, and I seriously love this palette because you can go really soft, or you can go really bold and bright, and I just love that depending on your mood you have the perfect palette to use. Okay, so the next palette is a little bit different, but this palette is from Glamlite. It's the Glamlite Pizza palette. Now I was looking through all of my Glamlite palettes and I was trying to figure out which one I personally thought was great for the fall time, and I ended up on the Pizza palette out of all of them because a lot of Glamlite palettes, as we all know, are very colorful, but this one is colorful, but it's more muted colorful, but also at the same time it also has like those grungy shades. Of course you have jalapeno, sausage, meatballs, basil, you have a black in here. Like you have the perfect shades. They're not too bright, but they're more like muted, and you can create some really cool looks for fall. This formula is really great. I will tell you guys right off the bat that this formula is not like the Glamlite formula you know today from like their more recent palettes. This was her first like big palette that really put her like brand on the map, but the formula has definitely changed. But I will say the color story of this is still great, and the shadows are still great. The like shimmers and stuff are not as like boom as they are now. That's all I want to say about that. So I pulled a few Huda Beauty palettes. So these are more like on the higher end side, of course, but I did pull some palettes that are a lot smaller to travel with, as well as, you know, just like if you love smaller palettes and you don't like too big of a palette, kind of like if you don't like the size of the pizza palette, which is very, very big, I do have some smaller palettes for you guys. And this next one is very, very new, but you guys, this is not new to my channel. This is the Wild Obsessions Chameleon palette. I love this palette. I think it is absolutely stunning. It's so beautiful. The metallics in here are really gorgeous. They blend out beautifully. They're so intense on the eyes. You do not need no Fix Plus with this. And the mattes in here are just so buttery and creamy, and they all blend together really, really beautifully. You can get a ton of different looks from this palette, and this one is my favorite from the Wild Obsessions palettes. I love all of them, but this one in particular is my favorite, and I've gotten a lot of use out of this particular one. Okay, so the next one is also from Huda Beauty. This is the Desert Dusk palette. This one right here is more, you know, neutral. There's a couple of pops of color in here, but more so it's on the neutral side. But it is absolutely beautiful. They have these really nice, like creamy, like metallics in here, really foiled shades as well. The mattes in here are really stunning. I really love this palette. I know this palette came out a long time ago, but I wanted to bring it up in today's video because I just think this is such a gorgeous palette, and every time of year I get so excited to use this particular palette. All right, so the next palette is the ABH Norvina Volume 3 palette. Now this is a palette that I feel like is perfect for the summer and the fall time. This one right here has lots of bright colors in here, but who said you can't go bright in the fall, you know? But also there's more, like, you know, they also have those classic fall shades as well. So this is for you if you guys love color and things like that. But I love the formula on this. You guys already know how I feel about this formula from Norvina and ABH. I love it. I'm obsessed with all of these palettes like this. They're really great to have in your collection. The next palette is from Lunar Beauty. This is the Greek Goddess palette. This one is also a very neutral palette, but I just love that this once again has like those like goldeny browny kind of tones. I really love the earth tones in this palette. I think they're really, really gorgeous, and I feel like you really could get a lot of looks out of this particular palette, and it's really stunning. So I wanted to include this one in today's video. So those are all the palettes I pulled for the fall time for you guys. There's a ton of palettes in my collection, but these were the ones that really stood out to me that I really wanted to include in today's video. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that you guys are interested in picking up any of these palettes that I recommended in today's video, and just let me know your thoughts down below about what you think about any of these palettes. Trust me, you guys, I know there are a ton of palettes out there that are perfect for this time of year, but you know, this is just what I pulled. If I pulled like literally every single one of my fall palettes, we would be here for literally hours. Okay, but now that that is out the way, let's get into how you guys can enter into today's giveaway and what I'm giving away, which I'm super excited about. So the first thing I'm giving away, of course, is the NOLA palette from Tatianna Anesa Cosmetics. I absolutely love this palette. This is my first eyeshadow palette. It is my everything. Let me show you guys how stunning. This palette is literally my city in a palette, and a lot of you guys have been giving me really amazing feedback. I love that you guys are loving this palette, and I really wanted to give this away in today's video. But I'm also going to be giving away the Get Lit highlighter palette. You guys have been going crazy over this highlighter palette, and it just makes me so happy that you guys love this palette so much. Look at this stunning palette. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you guys have been eyeing this, because I know a lot of you guys have been eyeing this palette and have been telling me that you guys really want it, you guys, what are you waiting for? Go out and get it. But this is also going to be included in today's giveaway. I am obsessed with this palette. There's something in here for everyone. It's very inclusive. Everyone can use this palette. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm also going to be giving away a pair of our lashes. These are so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. These are so pretty. I just love the whole aesthetic of like everything. It just makes me so happy. So I'm going to give away a pair of lashes. And then lastly, I'm also going to be giving away a gloss in the shade Solar. This is my current favorite lip gloss. It is a really gorgeous nudie shade, of course. We love our nudes. To enter into today's giveaway, all you have to do is one, of course, be subscribed to my channel, and then also comment down below your current favorite eyeshadow palette that you have been loving for, like, you know, this time of year, and then comment when done in a place for me to contact you. And then for a bonus entry, follow me on my Instagram at Tatianna.Anesa and on TikTok at Tatiannaanesa. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and join the fam, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.